Hey, today we got a great show coming up. We've had a lot of fun over the years and traveled to a lot of places, and I've showed you some of my favorite places and told you where they were at. A lot of people go there and fish and have fun. Well, today I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to a little special place that I've been going to for years, and I'm going to take one of my favorite fishing buddies with me, and we're going to have some fun fishing in some real skinny water and catching some really big bass. So you stay with me. We're going to have fun, I promise you. I'm Hank Parker. That little boat's got multi-uses. It's really neat for a lot of different purposes, but we showed you a little different twist to it today. You can load it in your boat and take it to your spot.
Look at that fish there.
Hold him, buddy.
Come on.
We're heading up to one of my little secret places. I was in there just a day or two ago fishing, and I saw some really big bass in the shallow water. And I thought about getting out and trying to wade, but really the water is too silted, it's too mucky to wade. That's not a very good option. So I thought about it, and I said, hey, I got it figured out. I'll bring my little Hobie Mirage Outback. Now, since we did the last show, we did one about a year or two ago with my buddy Jackie Smith, and we were fishing up on the Susquehanna and the Potomac River, and we had a lot of fun. Well, now we got a Hank Parker signature Outback, so I had to do some serious bass fishing. You know, they do redfish tournaments out of those Outbacks and get in that real skinny water and chase those redfish when the tides are falling. So we were in a situation today, it's kind of like tidal water, and showed you a very serious side where we loaded the Outbacks up in the Ranger and took off and went up in the creek and unloaded the boats, and that is a unique twist. So that little boat's got multi-uses. You can put it in a farm pond where you don't have access to electricity and you can't charge batteries. It's powered by the fisherman himself, and it's really neat for a lot of different purposes, but we showed you a little different twist to it today. You can load it in your boat and take it to your spot, so kind of neat deal.
But I got rope. I got rope, I got a short rope, but I got rope. I got two of them. Okay. Two short ones. It's just a hair snaky.
I like a snake. Do you not like a snake?
I bet there's been one in here before. What do you think?
Oh, doubt it. You mean a real snake?
Mm-hmm.
All right, go back and grab your handle.
All right.
Set her in the ocean. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go.
Got half that tree, the beaver there.
That water's up, Hank. They are very shallow, very, very shallow. We're doing this next little bay up here. May get one. Hey, you know, this water in here always stays somewhat stained. At times it's more than others, but I like that. A lot of people say, well, that water is just too muddy. Shoot, man, I like that. It keeps those fish up shallow, even in the warmer water in the hot summertime. So you can go there in the hot summertime and still catch fish on springtime patterns because of that off-colored water, and I like that. I think you ain't gonna believe this fish.
Woo. I believe mine's bigger than yours.
Look what a fish, Hank.
Let me get over there to you.
Come here, buddy. What a fish. Lord have mercy. Hank, we got that's the only thing we don't have a live well. I want to weigh this fish. This fish is over 10.
That is a hoss.
I missed him. I missed him the first time. I threw him on the other side of that bush and he boiled. I even thought maybe for a second it was a carp boil. But he nailed it.
Look at that fish.
Is it awesome or
That's
what?
an awesome fish. God. Wonder that fish didn't flip you out of that boat.
He pulled me. I water skied for 5 minutes.
What do you think he weighs?
He's over 10, I'd say. I'd like to weigh him. We can't tell nobody about our little spot. That's the advantage of getting in the skinny water. Watch this right here. How many people like to do that?
Not me. I believe I'd find me a little compartment to put him in.
This thing is just like tidal water. When they run those wheels, these little lakes fill up and these fish get really, really shallow. This thing may be dry in 3 hours. I mean, completely dry. They'll suck the water out of it.
No kidding.
So it works just like tidal water. So that's the neat thing about being able to work in this skinny water. One thing we need to watch about your boat, when it starts really pulling hard, we need to move that boat out in that channel. We're only in about 2 foot of water.
Well, we can definitely use these little boats to get around this shallow water.
You think you can pedal hard enough to pull that big range off there?
It'd be tough.
Keep pedaling. We'll catch them in here. There he is.
Got him? Oh, I got on Daddy's side, catching Daddy's fish. Daddy's fish.
People don't even realize these fish act like tidal fish. A lot of people don't have a clue that those fish get back in those little shallow bays when this water's high. 90% of the time when you catch fish here, you catch them on the outside of the cover in the ditch here because you catch them when the water's low and falling. But you can't catch them when the water's high like this because you can't get to them.
I'd say he's almost a pound. He's probably just a little bit bigger than yours, Dad. You keep trying, you'll catch him like that, okay?
There you go. You know, there's a misconception with a lot of people on being quiet when you're fishing. And a lot of people think, talk. You can talk and do all that you want to. What you can't do is beat on the bottom of the boat or do anything that transmits sound under the water. So these little outbacks are pretty neat to be slipping along and not making any noise at all. And if you'll push your pedal forward, then the little fins go up under the bottom and you can go in water, it's amazing, and not make a sound. I mean, it is really, really quiet. And no matter what kind of boat you're in, the main thing about being quiet is not your voice and not talking. It's don't drop fishing rods on the bottom of your boat. Don't stomp on the bottom of the boat. Don't do anything that transmits sound down into the water. But you can holler as loud as you want to. And we did holler pretty loud when we caught a couple of big fish.
I got one, Dad.
Oh,
he's a good one.
Golly, bum, Hank Parker Jr. Hold him, buddy.
Oh, man.
Man.
That's a good fish right there.
Fish is spawning. That fish is spawning. Look at the roe in that fish. Look at the tail.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crash you, grab the front of my boat.
You got excited, you saw my fish.
Oh.
As good as it goes.
That fish will weigh 11 or 12.
I know.
Look at that fish.
Well, I guess we're gonna turn him loose. We're gonna say bye-bye to him. Here he goes.
All right, hold on a minute. Lift him up. Let me see him one last time. One last time. Turn him, let me see that big belly one last time. That is unbelievable, Hank. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Here he goes. Bye-bye.
Here he's coming over here toward me.
Hey, get your bait out of my way.
You know, when you're fishing that skinny water like that, there are several different baits that'll work. There's a lot of baits that won't work. But you select like a shadow or a plastic worm. Spinner baits were great because you can fish them effectively in real, real shallow water or even a foot or two deep, you can let that bait down. And that's what we were doing. We'd throw it at that real shallow water, and a lot of times we'd get a running start, and then we'd kind of let that bait fade down by a brush pile or a bush or a tree or a grass bed, whatever structure was there. And we were able to fish it very effectively. In that off-colored water, you can't hardly beat that spinnerbait. And out of the Hobie Outback, we had great control with the spinnerbait, so that was our bait of choice, and that's why. What did you catch that fish on, Hank?
Let's see. I like to call it the Hank Parker Jr. Classic spinnerbait. See, the wonderful story about this spinnerbait is that you've gotten all the glory, but when you won the Classic here in Richmond, Virginia, I remember staying up all night helping you make about 6 dozen of these things when we were pre-fishing. It's funny, I never got any credit for that on the back of that thing.
Well,
nothing was ever said about me.
You just got you some credit there, didn't you?
Yeah, that worked out good. I think that made it worth it right there. Now you're gonna go over and fish my spot.
Tell you what, this is so much fun. It's kind of like you're sneaking along real close to the water. Get back in no water at all. I mean, these things will literally go in 5 inches of water. This is kind of a neat little place that I've been fishing for years, and like I say, I would have told you the name of it, but I'd have had to kill you. It's just a special place that can't take boat pressure. It wouldn't take hardly anything to wipe this thing out. And we've been catching big fish in here for years and years and years and released them. We've never took a fish out of here. We try to be real careful with them, but it's the first time I've come back and been able to go all the way to the back of these flats. And I really believe there's fish back there that may have never seen a lure before. So it's kind of neat, and it's fun, and it's cool, and I enjoy this. The last time we did this, we fished in very scenic places, and the fishing really wasn't that good, but this time we brought them back and was able to get to some real serious water to catch some real serious fish. So a lot of fun.
I got one, Dad. He's a good one.
Man,
that's a good fish.
All
right
the fish
there.
is spawning. That fish is spawning.
Man,
Like you ain't gonna believe this fish.
what you got?
Look what a fish, Hank.
Let me get over there to you.
Wow, what a show, boy. I tell you, we had a ball today. We fish a lot of places and tell everybody where we are at times, and then we don't tell everything at other times for different reasons. But, you know, I'd like to tell everybody where this little spot is, but you can't do that because you could wipe it out really easy. It couldn't take a whole lot of pressure. It's a small area, and we've been going there for years, just kind of sneaking in, catching a few fish and putting them back. So we had a ball, I'll tell you. Hank Jr., he's probably going to be slipping back down there without me, but I'm not going to tell everybody where we were at. But I'm glad you watched, and I'm glad we got those big fish. We just had a ball. So be back with me next week. We'll be right here, same time, same station. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker.